Mother, man.
What's up, bros? It's Redhead Dave and it's 420. Murder Mountain, Murder Metal Mayhem.
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder Metal Mayhem!
Well, shit, that was quite the intro there,
Fuck yeah,
Chris.
420. Fuck yeah.
All right, it is Tuesday, and we're throwing down a new Murder Metal Mayhem, and we're in Horns High Studios for the Horns High Podcast Network. It is episode 175 going down, and it is, gentlemen, our 4-year anniversary episode.
That's fucking crazy. And it's 420.
And it's 420 or 419, 419, which we will get to in due course. But Chris, Joey, I got you guys in here. How's everything going?
Been going pretty smooth. What up with you, Joey?
Not bad, not bad. Fucking
Awesome.
Ready to
weather's been tolerable, getting a little warmer, looking like some warmth on the horizon.
Yeah,
so.
not terrible.
What shirts we got on, Chris? What you got going on over there?
I went
Budweiser?
full on fucking redneck alcoholic tonight. I just got on a Budweiser shirt and a Backwoods Moonshine hat. So I just
Okay.
kicking it.
That's cool. That's cool. Joey, what about you, man?
I'm wearing the
Disturbed?
Romper
Is that
Prompt
what
hoodie from fucking Deutschland or fucking Holland.
Yeah.
And then I got the Gore Pie hat on because I was like, man, fucking you can't not have the fucking weed grinders from Taiwan
When you're
whenever we're
about
talking
a
about
story.
weed. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely appropriate. And then I tried to find my Schizophrenia shirt, but it's hard to imagine I can't in a sea of black shirts that, I
Right.
mean, is like
Non-stop.
a monolith
It's a black hole, yeah.
in my fucking house. I
It's a lot
did it
better.
justice. Went old school with some death, spiritual healing
hell yeah.
shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Love this shirt. And I love all the death covers. Leprosy's badass. I actually just, from the same guy that I got my Sound of Perseverance shirt, that Portland distro, they've got all the official death stuff on their website, so the art looks killer.
Hell yeah.
And I ordered a individual thought patterns and symbolic shirt.
Nice.
So I'm kind of going down the list. Leprosy's definitely next, and then Scream Bloody
yeah.
Gore, and I'd have them all, you know.
There you go.
So
That Leprosy
anyway,
album
but
cover.
I love supporting a good place to find merch and real nice people, home like mom and pop type operation.
help them out, dude.
And yeah, really cool. Now, last week, guys, we did a bonus episode on the Road of Bones, Chris, up there in Chile, Siberia.
Thinking about building my winter home there.
Right? You can have it in the winter. In the summer, it gets up to a balmy 70, which is pretty decent.
For what, like
when
3
you're
months?
used to 50 fucking below, that's probably like fucking Florida. You
Dude,
know
I'm
what I mean?
sure. Dude, like the best place
Florida
ever.
without the mullets, maybe.
I don't know, dude. They probably up there. I don't know, man.
It's brutal, but a godforsaken 1,200 mile stretch road in the coldest place on earth, built on slave labor with absolutely brutal conditions, Chris, in the Gulag.
Yeah, coldest inhabited place on it.
Yeah, Chris, Joey, he loved that the Gulag. Yeah, so we had some fun with that. But it was estimated 250,000 to 1 million people died as that became part of the road, literally worked to death and then covered up in the construction of the road that went on for more than 20 years under the dictator who's definitely going to need to be a subject of a podcast
fucking
one
right,
day.
Stalin.
Right.
Joseph Stalin. Actually, I think he was on the list a couple times and he got nixed for somebody more exciting. But
Right.
when it comes to brutal, he would be a good one to do. He was awful. And it's wicked. So if you missed that episode, go on and give it a listen. It was just a bonus, though, because we only covered that one topic. And we were passing 800 to that one today. So that's
right.
cool. So
Thanks.
we appreciate that. Now, tonight, guys, we got a good one. As we mentioned, it's a
420.
4-year anniversary. The night before, 420, 419. I mean, there's so many funny references with tonight. And so we had thought last year, right after 420, I thought, man, we should have done Murder Mountain for an episode, but it was already too late. So I was like, man, next
Just
year,
wait for next year for
we
420.
gotta
And
do that.
We looked at
So-
the calendar and she was like, oh, dude, it's perfect.
and
timing.
it turns into our 4-year anniversary. So
Right.
it's just such a cool thing. So, it was just, our first show being April 18th of 2018 makes this, our, 4-year anniversary. So it's kind of
literally
crazy.
a day off. So like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a cool thing. And we wouldn't be able to do it without you guys listening. So we really, really appreciate that. Murder Mountain is the name of an area in Northern California known as the Emerald Triangle, which is a 3-county area where the best pot farms are located.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Perfect conditions, very remote, rural area, but comes with some serious fucking violence, which is why the area was nicknamed Murder Mountain. And we'll talk about that in, appropriately, the murder segment. So should be a fun one to do tonight.
Hell yeah.
I got the horns tonight,
Yes, you
gentlemen, and I am going to be
It's been a
hitting
while since
Europe.
somebody's had the horns. It's been a couple weeks.
I know,
Like,
it
for
has
real.
been a while. With the bonus episodes and the CK episode, we missed a couple weeks. But I'm excited. I got them tonight, and I'm going to be talking about the Belgian death thrash band Schizophrenia. I love those
hell
guys. Really fucking wicked. Just released a new album, and I had a chance to interview 3 of them recently. And I got about 6 minutes or so of that 35-minute
fuck yeah.
interview. So we'll do that in the metal segment. And Joey, you got a lost classic for us tonight.
I got a lost classic, all right. I've been jamming it in my car.
Hell yeah, dude. So that'll be good. We'll do that in metal, of course. Now, the killer cage match tonight, guys, that's when we have our listeners provide random numbers on our Facebook page and help us decide who's going to fight to death in the steel cage. So, Chris, who's...
Tonight we have Ray 10-gallon McFalls.
Oh, damn.
Damn, dude. 10-gallon.
10 gallon.
We got Gummo Wall Bacon.
Hell yeah.
What up? And we got Samantha Cram out there getting it. What is going on?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah, 10 gallon.
Yeah,
now.
where'd that come from?
Wasn't he big sexy? So, yeah, this guy's kind of, high on himself. Now, tonight we got a good one going on in the cage, Joey. This is about as brutal as it's going to get.
And probably pretty funny. I can't wait to see the objects and variable. But we have fighting. We have the big fucking hoss that'll fucking serve you up a barbecue of human. Joe Matheny, however you want to say it. It's Big Joe.
Big ol' hoss.
Big
Dude,
hoss.
that's the whole reason we're doing the podcast. Because when we were at that wedding,
We were talking about Joe
and we were talking about Joe Matheny at this wedding reception, and this guy was eating. And he got up and went to another table because we're talking about Joe Matheny. So if you really want to give credit where credit's due, Chris, the 4-year anniversary thanks to Joe Matheny. So it's ironic Joe is one of the two
Hell yeah.
fighting. And who's he going up against?
And he's going to go up against an old school guy. He's going to go up against Vlad the Impaler.
Hell, yeah.
Vlad the Impaler. Oh, Vlad Dracula. Brutal as hell, impaling people on stakes.
He just got him skewered up for Joe to eat and shit and sell.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Well, I was all about them. We wrote a song in Low 12 called Forest of the Impaled, which was a short instrumental. And then I wrote a song called Heads on Sticks, and it was about Vlad the Impaler.
Vlad.
So, yeah, fucking brutal shit. So those two should be a good one and a hell of a matchup with 2 objects and a variable to make it interesting. And we'll do that, of course, in Mayhem. So that's a favorite part of the show. Thanks to everybody that's out there listening to Murder Metal Mayhem. We keep seeing the numbers coming in. This week was a little down only because we did a bonus episode. It was 2,600 listens, so that's cool. So thanks to everybody that digs it and, share it. talk about it.
Appreciate all you guys doing that.
Put it on grandma's fridge. Whatever you got to do, get some
why
people
not?
to check it out.
Dude, my freaking kids got it on their shit they take to school. And I'm like, I don't know if you should have that. They're like, it's okay, Dad. All right.
So we do appreciate it. So you guys, we got a lot on our plate tonight. Taking a trip west to the green or emerald triangle. Hopefully stay away from those crazy pot farmers who might want to turn us into some fertilizer for the crops. So
hell yeah, man. Let's get a reefer on, bro.
fuck yeah, man. Some Misery Index.
Fucking right.
Brand new Misery Index song, Zombie Prescription. Pretty fucking nasty. They got a new album coming out
next
in
month.
May. So yeah, I'm fucking stoked for that shit. I've been jamming them today.
Is Zombie Prescription the new fucking wave of COVID?
I don't know.
Damn,
possibly. I don't know. So
new variant,
it's going to be
zombie.
slamming as fuck, man. We did that interview with the drummer, Adam Jarvis, such a good dude.
Hell yeah.
Used to be in a band from the Danville area called All Will Fall, and he used to play shows with us back in the day, and he'd been such a very nice guy, very down to earth, even though he's been like doing like crazy great shit.
Just still his own dude.
He's still his old self. You know, he comes home, visits his folks, and he likes to go see local shows. We saw him at a couple of ours.
Hell yeah.
And he's just a great guy. So I'm glad to see Misery Index coming out with some new shit. Now, tonight we're going to be taking a little trip onto some Murder Mountain. That's what we're going to be talking about. Others know it as the Emerald Triangle, but Murder Mountain sounds pretty brutal. Whatever you call it, it's the largest marijuana growing region in the United States. And this would
That's
be
a lot
Humboldt.
of weed because there's a lot of motherfuckers that smoke weed in this
Oh my
country,
God.
dude.
And the number of farms up there is like unbelievable.
And it's been that way since the beginning.
yeah.
Yes.
That's,
Yeah.
that's where huge
literally
cultivation
like
started.
an OG.
Yeah, so we're talking about Humboldt, which is the one everybody knows, Trinity and Mendocino counties in northern California that form an upside down triangle. And it's an area, you know, also known as to be very lawless. You got this rural, you know, environment, lots of money being made. So you got people that want to
It ain't just
protect that
rural,
money.
It's fucking middle
They
of the
get
woods.
some brutal, like Sopranos shit going on up there. From what I take from what I watched and listened to, but you know, there's going to be differing opinions, like there are in all these stories we do. So we'll
For
talk
sure.
about all that.
And anytime you get fucking big quantities of drugs and therefore
Right.
money,
Right?
always some shit's going to go
People
down.
are going to do dumb shit,
Yeah.
you know. So many kids have gone there for jobs, you know, never to be seen again, and that was the whole basis of the series that was on Netflix called Murder Mountain. And like most of those, though, you know, you do hear from that person that put the, you know, documentary together. And so people might say they have an opinion and they're kind of swaying it. That was the deal with
Right.
Making a Murderer.
all that.
You
yeah.
know, people
pretty
were-
much everyone.
People were they were questioning the validity of the story because of the way it was told. I don't know. So we're going to explore some of those different opinions here tonight. Now, Chris, this sounds like a place we might need to do a remote podcast from someday. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I'm cool with it. Fuck it.
Like right in the middle of some
Yeah,
pot
like-
farm, you know?
What up, guys? Surrounded by weed.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
come be on the show.
We just have to just ask them to please be nice. You know,
No, you just
I don't
gotta-
want to
What
get
was
beat
them
up.
dudes,
and-
the Humboldt Cure?
Yeah.
That company, right?
Yeah.
What
or
that,
the Dookie fucking.
the Dookie brothers?
Yeah, the Dookie brothers. Yeah. Like,
but yeah, them dudes all seem cool. Like, I'd hang out with them and shit.
for real.
So Joey, have you seen the Netflix series then?
I watched the last half of it, so I saw 3 of the 6, the last 3. it was very popular when it came out, so I've seen other things about it before this, but it was cool that I went over to Chris's yesterday and he was watching, so I got to see that.
Cool.
I also saw one of the biggest gripes about this documentary is that it was so repetitive and they kept showing the same thing over and over and over that they could have made the 6-hour documentary a 2-hour and got everything out. So in light of that, I feel like I probably saw most of what they had to say.
Yeah. And that's how a lot of them are. They spend like the first 10 minutes catching you up on what happened.
It's like, dude, I'm binge watching this. I just watched this.
Yeah, and so they do tend to be like that. They could stretch them out just because they sell more, whatever. I don't know.
Did you see that?
I know it's a business, but, like you said, it could have been summed up in a good 2-hour documentary would have been like perfect.
Like I said, so I didn't see exactly all of it, but I felt like what I saw and compared to what I fucking researched, like I got
crazy shit.
But did you see that fucking meme? It was like, it's like, watch it Netflix. Hey, want to watch a movie for 10 hours? And you're like, fuck no. Hey, you want to watch 10 parts for an hour of this? Fucker, I'm in. Yeah.
Totally, man. It's easy to get sucked into it, man. I've been there many, many a times. Now, they started seeing people leaving the larger cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco during the 1960s. Which would have been common, throughout the United States. People moving away from the cities, going into the suburbs or beyond because they just fucking want to get away. So this area we're talking about, guys, is 300 miles north of San Francisco. So we're talking about the northernmost part of California in that one corner of the state where this area we're talking about. Most of these people were hippies and wanted to live off the grid and grow their own food and just disconnect from society. They just didn't want to deal with it,
Like we can do our own thing. We can. Peace and love, fucking.
Yeah, and they started growing pot because they like to smoke marijuana and they're in the perfect climate for it. Right. So it was like a no-brainer.
I mean, they're already growing their own food and everything.
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, they weren't bothering anybody. So you saw an influx of guys also returning from Vietnam in the 70s that were, smoking lots of marijuana there and coming home and then taking LSD and other drugs potentially. But, they were suffering from PTSD and found that marijuana was helping them out and just preferred living off the grid, saw some bad shit, I'm sure, and just don't want to deal with society.
And the hippies going to be bringing them in like, we didn't want you over there either, so it's all a communion now.
Yeah, so it was just an area of people that didn't want to go with the status quo. They just wanted to do their own thing. Very individualistic, totally cool, I get it. I got some of that kind of inspiration as well, but these people definitely took it
to the extreme.
All in, yeah.
I wonder if fucking like when George Lucas and them were fucking shooting fucking Star Wars out in the fucking sequoia with trees and shit, So they did that whole fucking scene out there in Northern California.
Oh, okay.
And fucking, I wonder if they were just out there blazing with the locals and shit. Probably. Fucking Harrison Ford and shit,
Probably. So
why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
At first, it was people growing for their own use, as we mentioned, on kind of a small scale. But once people realized how much fucking money they could make from growing pot and selling it on the black market, then you just see this rush, like the gold rush going on up there. People growing, large amounts of weed.
And then they got their farms, and they're like, all right, now I need somebody to work for me.
Yeah, and so this becomes like a legit business. So there's a lot of people working on these farms. And at the time, it was illegal in the U.S. to grow, sell, or do anything with marijuana. And, of course, we all know that changed dramatically as the years went on. But we're talking about, an era when that was not cool.
Fuck Nancy Reagan.
And the 1980s, the state really cracked down on the pot farms and actually used National Guard troops to drop in and fucking
some of that
torch
footage
that
is
shit.
Like really all this over some people like not bothering anyone.
Exactly.
They're just living out on their own with their families, like with kids for real, like National Guard, like you said, rifles, helicopters just coming in over some weed.
Like a military operation just to cut these plants down. And Chris, I mean, these pot farmers loved the area because it was so remote, and you didn't see a lot of police up to this point, right?
Yeah, until they started growing. Dude, it was so remote. These motherfuckers were out there building all their homes and everything straight up naked.
Right.
With motherfucking that straight up, the only thing that they're wearing a tool belt, dude, out there building houses. It's just like, you guys really just don't give a fuck and don't want people to fuck with you, do you?
Yeah,
But,
no,
like,
they really didn't.
yeah, there was nobody out there bothering them until they started making a little bit of money. Then it
Right.
get turned all into dumb shit.
Yeah, yeah. So, Joey, just like most things, though, the police would start to find ways to locate these farms and would be busting them just kind of randomly. They really never knew when it was going to come, right?
Right, yeah, and I mean, they had the fucking... Back then, they could do that because, you know, everything about it was illegal.
Right.
And from what, you know, I've heard from that area and shit, a lot of what went on then as far as, like, any kind of bus would be like, you don't so much got your locals who are fucking rooted in those areas that are doing their thing, but you get somebody that moves in on the territory and starts growing up there. Usually
like
it's an
on a
outsider.
property, yeah.
Yep. And so, you know, the speculation is that possibly the locals and the cops working together, like, yeah, go bust these guys, get them out of here. That gives you guys a bust on your record. That gets them out of our territory because we don't want them here.
Right.
So I don't know how much validity there is to that, but I definitely have heard that growing up and shit about that area.
Yeah, I could see where, you know, these police, you know, once the feds start, you know, bringing down the heat, then, you know, the police are going to have to do something.
Yeah.
So, you know. Now, we're talking about an area that's like 12,000 square miles. The total population of the Emerald Triangle, I read, was about 250,000 people. The largest city is Eureka, which is in Humboldt County, and it's got about 50,000 people,
County,
so
ain't
pretty
it?
good size, you know, city.
Isn't Eureka in Tazewell County?
Yeah, there is one, but not this one. This one is in a much faraway place here in the Emerald Triangle. So most of the area is very rural, is secluded, as we mentioned, very densely wooded. There are parts that are extremely mountainous. Humboldt County is along the west coast and is the most well-known for the pot farm.
Them motherfucking redwood trees, though, dude.
Yeah.
God damn.
Huge. Yeah,
God
and forests
damn,
and forests
dude.
and forests of these huge redwood trees. Yeah, it's unbelievably beautiful up there. They say the triangle grows a little bit bigger each year with people trying to grow and kind of, you know, on the outskirts. So this area has grown
gonna add
considerably.
a foot here, add a foot this year, add a foot this year,
Right.
add a foot this year.
Yeah, and you've got like companies moving in there doing
fuck
this
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, this is like an operation.
That's like the U.S.'s most fertile grow spot. So now,
Oh, yeah.
we legalize it, but guess what? Now we're gonna come and put our fucking footprint in here too.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point, dude. So, you know, it's the perfect place for this. And as they show in Murder Mountain, the docuseries, there are some illegal farms. And they also, you know, find the legal ones. So there were some that were doing it legal and some that weren't. The town of Alder Point, which is kind of the focus of this whole series, seems to be what they would call like a ground zero for the whole Murder Mountain thing.
Yeah, that whole series, yeah.
Yeah, and again, you know, there's differing opinions about it. Some people say that, you know, series, you know, was exaggerating. Whatever, we're going to get into
I don't
this.
care. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was definitely
Other
interesting
than all the
to watch.
repetition, like Joey said, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, like, the longer you watch, you're like, wait, is this about murder? No, this is just a weed documentary.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, this isn't even
Yeah,
about
I mean,
murder.
there's
This
not,
is a
you know, other
weed
than the
documentary.
stories.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, there
that's the
are
thing.
homicides. And,
Of course,
so that's definitely part of it. But
Right.
a lot more weed involved.
Yeah,
which was
much
cool.
more weed discussions going on.
Yeah,
there.
then there is fucking murder, yeah.
Now,
It's great.
we know that marijuana is still illegal on the federal level, so these pot farmers
Hopefully
exist
not soon.
under the threat of being raided by the feds,
Right.
which is fucked up. The legal grow at least doesn't have to worry about the state or local cops since they pay the fees and taxes that are associated.
Oh, they have
with
so
growing
many
marijuana.
It's
So
so
a
much,
lot of hoops to jump through.
documentation that they have to have. That's fucking
it's a huge thing. So it comes with a price, but they're making some big cash because it's the best pot in the United States. With all the money involved in this billion-dollar industry, it's no wonder that some of these pot growers resort to violence when it comes to people fucking with their livelihood. Somebody does something stupid and one of these farmers gets fucking serious because this is their livelihood. This is a lot of money.
So like, you don't see these goddamn corn farmers coming in and fucking like we're in the middle of these fucking cornfields. You don't see just
true.
like, hey, you owe me this
They're
much
just
money.
hanging out at Casey's drinking coffee.
Right. Well, why the fuck all of a sudden? I mean, it doesn't make sense to because I guess because that's all on the best market is the black market.
They gotta guard their anhydrous tanks from the meth addicts.
They do have to do that.
That's true. That's true. But not nearly like this. But this is a lot more money.
Dude, this fucking crazy though. I'm like, wait, these corn farmers don't do that. What the fuck?
So yeah, when it comes down to money, the states are finally getting the idea, Chris, that if they tax it, they can make some fucking money, and that's what Illinois has seen here since it's been legal now, what, a couple of years?
I don't know. The roads don't fucking show it, dude. They're still a piece of shit.
No, the roads are awful, man. That's true. Yeah, where the fuck are they spending this money? I don't know.
Damn, man.
Speaking about the docuseries Murder Mountain, in some of the research I did for this episode, I came across some interviews with pot farmers that back up the claims of rampant violence and the lawlessness of the area, but some say that the docuseries was not correct in its portrayal of the area and, of course, sensationalized the violence, which, of course, I mean, you're not going to do a documentary without some drama. That's what they want. And that, of course, sells it. So that's understood. But I get it. If that's where you're from, you probably wouldn't like
anything. To me, this tried to make fucking marijuana look bad. Because, all these people are killing each other to grow weed for you guys. So fuck that.
Yeah. I mean, it would be smart
I got
to go in
to say about that at the end of this.
I think it makes sense to do it legally. And then at least you're not having to deal with, the cops and probably less of the lawlessness stuff when it's like a company and it's fenced off and security and all that.
I mean, you still got, like I said, that's a business you're always going to have the possibility of there being some kind of drama or crime or something happening.
Right.
And you got the same thing. We got the dispensaries here in town. Motherfuckers try to rob them and
definitely
break into them or whatever, damage
over
the property
weed, dude.
over some weed. So
yeah,
it's going to happen no matter where it's at.
That's true, man.
And it sucks because especially if you're living up there and you got this badass land, you probably got this really nice house and you're staying there and you're always got to be fucking like, man. It's crazy because I saw somebody that was from up there that they were interviewing and they were talking about how, they were asking the validity of the documentary about them showing up with the guns when the cops showed up. And the guy's like, well, yeah, because we're so fucking far out in those places, you can't just believe that these people are going to be who they say they are.
Right.
And the probability is that if anybody is coming serious for you, they're coming SWAT style. So they're going to be tons of shit coming at you.
Right.
If it's just one or two people, you better find out who that is because it could be some trouble. So yeah, if it's a cop, you're going to walk out, you're going to have your fucking gun on you. And then whenever they fucking, identify themselves or whatever, then you can be cool with it and shit. Wow. But it's not illegal for them to have their gun on their property, so they're going to make sure that
Sure.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. But these people they're living super far away from any reason for there to be anybody out there they don't know.
Right. And I mean, Joey, just calling it Murder Mountain, of course, is going to draw in viewers, which is the same reason why we're using it in the name of the episode.
Right.
It definitely gets people's attention. Oh, what's that all about?
And I told Chris, I mean, that's fucking, it's almost basically like clickbait.
It
Kind
kind
of.
Like you see that, you're like, oh, Murder Mountain is not so much about it, but there is some murder in it.
Yeah.
This fucking, one of another dude I was watching this up there at the interview, and he was like, man, the name Murder Mountain, that's fucking hilarious to me because I just call that normal Humboldt. He was like, you want to see some fucked up shit, go to Eureka. He's like, go over there and try to pull some shit and see what comes up,
Oh, wow.
He was like, they just use that mostly for the documentary, like you said,
Right.
to have the name fucking draw attention. But
Sure.
I mean, the shit is happening up there, and yeah, it does sound cool. It's the same thing. Texas Chainsaw Massacre sounds cooler than Wisconsin Chainsaw Massacre.
right.
Like
Delaware Chainsaw Massacre.
yeah. I wouldn't even watch that, I don't think.
Now, Chris, we talk about that quite a bit, how our listeners shouldn't just go to one source. You want to get some different viewpoints whenever you're trying to learn about something. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I mean, yeah, I did a couple other ones. I watched this, but and then there's a couple, but definitely get other ideas because there's other thoughts out there that people have.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to just watch one thing and be like, oh, those people are all fucked up. Well,
Right.
no, there's plenty of them that aren't,
And also have your own thoughts about it too.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Yeah.
they fucked up.
Yeah, you
Like,
might agree with part of one thing and part of another thing, come up with your own way of looking at the situation.
That's what I love about how we do shit, because I feel like no matter what the subject is, we all come into it with our little parts. And
Yeah.
I think we cover most shit, or at least touch on,
What's out there on
right,
the subject.
exactly. So I
Yeah.
think we do really good with that.
I try to. I mean, I know we all do. I know I try to, if I can, if there's a book available on the subject and I have enough advance, I try to get the books and read about it.
fucking audio.
Nowadays, with podcasts and YouTube videos, I mean, you almost need to you could pretty much do everything you need to do there. And of course, Google and stuff and reading articles, because I've read a lot of stuff like in Rolling Stone. I think, I can't remember the one I referenced in here. I think it was Rolling Stone, but really good articles, very thorough. And obviously, you're looking at reputable information that was, checked and dates
Yeah.
and so forth. Anyway, so Murder Mountain 6-part series came out on Netflix in 2018. And I saw it soon after it came out. I really didn't know a thing about the Emerald Triangle or the violence. But the show, of course, drew me in with the title. I wanted to check it out. I
Right.
like true crime. And so,
like
of course,
weed.
I'm the algorithm, perfect
Hell
candidate
yeah.
to watch this. And it's the story of Garrett Rodriguez, the 29-year-old who left home to get a job in the cannabis industry and was found murdered in 2013. His father is a big part of that series. He searches for his son, and you learn that there are a lot of people coming up missing there, Chris. That's some crazy shit.
Yeah, he was missing for a long ass fucking time, dude. And even when people were saying stuff to the cops about it, they're just like, no, we don't care about it. Like,
Yeah, they
Fuck
didn't
him.
seem like they cared a whole lot, but of course they criticized, we'll get to that, of how they were portrayed, but some of it didn't really look like they were giving a whole rat's ass about this kid because
No,
he
not
was
at all.
working up there and
people
they didn't
knew
want to
who
deal
did
with it.
And
you know?
people knew who did it.
Yeah.
But they were, the cops were saying, like, fucking, well, this whole time, you guys haven't wanted us around at all.
Right.
And now you want us all
And
of
now
a
you
sudden.
want us to come out there, and fucking this whole time you haven't
Right.
fucking shown us any kind of respect or
That's true.
whatever, And I'm sure now with the legalization, there's probably a lot more of them working together with
Right.
with the growers and shit. But back then it was like, yeah, fuck you, you stay over there. Okay, fuck you, you stay over there.
Like gangland
yeah,
shit.
and so now they're fucking calling them to fucking come help him, and they're like, oh, really?
Right,
Okay.
right. Exactly. So, it's a sad story. This kid's missing, like you said, Chris, for a long time. The police in the area had a lot of negative things to say about the docuseries. It makes them look bad, which they did. They don't like, like they don't give a fuck about these young people, but I didn't get the feeling that they seem to care a whole lot. But when you're talking about the number of people missing, I mean, to their defense, I mean, it would become staggering. And like, can you look concerned about one when you've got a mountain of 1,500 of them a year ending up missing? I mean, that's fucking
Ridiculous,
crazy.
But who knows how many of these people did just leave, but also at the same time, you should check every source you have.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of shit going on that nobody really knows, and that's why I think it's got this stigma about it. And I'm sure there's some truth in this whole thing, but like we saw with Making a Murderer, people love shit, the drama, and it sells, and so companies like Netflix love covering this sort of stuff, and we like watching it. I mean, I'm just as guilty as anybody else.
It was interesting, but the unfortunate thing about the documentary to me is the way that it was laid out was, which these are all successful, so don't get me wrong, like Sugar Babe or like fucking, the Making a Murderer, or like fucking where they just even Tiger King. That guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking, it's like they try to fucking capitalize on these fucking people who are like super unfortunate looking, or like Chris said, these are fucking rednecks with weed.
Right.
That's what he said. And that's
that
what,
want to be left the fuck alone.
Right. If these dudes were all just like fucking super square, monotone business people, it wouldn't be fucking fun to watch. But the fact that fucking Redhead Dave's and that shit,
Right.
and you know what I'm saying? These dudes are all
and
classic as fuck.
Neil, fucking all the motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like,
So in light of the fact of the missing guy that they, Garrett, that they originally did the fucking story about, I feel like some of that gets overshadowed because what people are really watching is all the other stuff.
Right.
So that's the only thing I'll say that I found unfortunate, but it was still like,
entertaining.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Joey, when I was researching this, I saw the link and I forgot all about this with Michael and Suzanne Bear Carson, the San Francisco Witch Killers.
Witch Killers.
That was a great one. That came from
yeah.
A Page a Day, and we did that one a year ago. It was June
21st,
of 2021.
Yep.
And what was that episode number?
142.
142. So if you're listening to this tonight and you're like, you know what? I need a little more Emerald Triangle, Chris. They can go to 142 and hear that San Francisco Witch Killer episode. That was some crazy ass shit.
Which, I mean, that's what's cool is like, they were serial killers, and we had done the episode on them, but they had spent time on Murder Mountain with these people
in
like
the early 80s.
Yeah, in the weed, in the weed game, they were probably helping them trim or do whatever, and basically hiding out up there.
Right.
But that's partially why people call it Murder Mountain, because you had these murderers living on the fucking mountain.
Yeah, and they killed 2 people up there.
They did, yeah. So
I mean, it's fucked up.
I think that's why we did them, though, because you had seen when it first came out. I think that's why we did them. You're like, because I want to do this on 420, but there's a story inside the story, dude.
Yeah, but that came from Page a Day, the Witch Killer.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
But still, even that one was probably a long time ago.
Yeah,
it's
so
crazy.
It's funny how these things
kind
of bat around
of
for
you
a
guys
while.
doing Murder Mill Man,
right?
Yeah. So the Carsons, though, were in Alder Point, which is that town we were talking about. The area considered to be the worst for the violence and people turning up missing. And that's where they hid, as you mentioned. I read in Rolling Stone from 2018 that 717 per 100,000 people go missing in Humboldt County every year.
It doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a fucking lot.
I think that's an awful lot,
That's
man.
double the California state percent.
Right.
So it's a lot.
Just Humboldt County.
Yeah, just in that county. So no matter what the people say about the docuseries overplaying the violent part of this,
no, there's definitely some
the fact that
shady
many
shit.
people are missing. I mean, I know some of them move away and some of them become, indigent or whatever the situation is. I get that. But to me, like Joey said, that's double the average of the state. That's crazy.
Well, listen to this, though. So this is part of how they fucking they mend that docuseries to fuck with you. They give you that stat, and this is what one of the guys that lived there, he was saying. They give you that stat, 717 people per 100,000 for a year, which is true. What they don't tell you after that is that Humboldt County in that area has the highest amount of solved cases on missing persons.
Oh, wow.
Really?
So that
tells you how many more people.
Right. So that's it. I mean, you got a lot missing, but if you're also solving the most amount of cases, you're finding a lot of them too. So it's weird.
But,
they pad shit a little bit to get you to check it out, but it is true.
Yeah.
but you got to hear the whole thing. So yeah, people just got to go check this shit out themselves.
Right.
But yeah,
that's
I heard that too, and I was like, okay, because I was just like, damn, that's a lot of people gone missing.
Right.
Fuck yeah.
But then, and even
That's
the cops,
interesting,
cops were saying that too. The sheriff guy that they were
They
talking
leave
to.
that out, you know.
Yeah, he was like, you know, our department, we have the highest amount of
You know how-
solved cases of missing persons. So
Right. See how big this forest is? I don't know where to find people. When
still, that's still a lot of people, and I think it was the third highest city in California, which was probably Los Angeles and fucking San Francisco, were the only ones that would have higher missing persons.
Right.
And those places are fucking huge compared to this place. So
of course.
still a lot of people missing.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, the fact that it's the highest doubled, the highest number of missing peoples, no wonder why they got into the whole, murder mountain, and the witch killers didn't help matters.
Witch killers definitely
They
didn't
kind of
help.
started the whole thing, is what
Yeah,
I was
I know.
told.
Like,
That's
we were
when it
just-
That's
started.
what I heard too.
Like we were
Yeah.
just saying, dude, the whole fucking thing is just violent anyway, and just leave me alone.
Yeah. So filmmaker Josh Zeman is the guy who put the series together. I read where he was quoted in saying that not all the missing persons are victims of violence. As we mentioned, some people go to the area to disappear and just live off the grid. So we were kind of saying that. There's some of that, as well. I get that. But that still seems to me a lot of fucking people. With 200,000 people, that's like 1,500 people a year in a county.
yeah.
That to me sounds like a lot of missing people.
But that's like that in that 1,500, a lot of those are solved, right? Or is that just
Well, they have
people-
the highest rate of solving
Yeah,
them.
so it's
but I
hard
don't
to
know
tell.
what that
Okay,
rate
yeah,
is,
what the
you know.
number is.
Yeah, because
okay,
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
what to base that off. Like what
Right.
other places have high success rates.
Yeah.
I get what
So
you're
what,
saying.
what percentage
Yeah.
is considered high? I don't know. California passed Prop 64, which is what legalized recreational marijuana and put it out there, in the small pot farms, out of business with these high fees. So to become legal, it costs a lot of money. And so people that were doing the small grows just could not do it legally. So then that's where you get the black market shit going on.
Dude, the black
And
market's
that's gonna be the
black
thing.
market.
Yeah, because people don't want to pay the high taxes.
Right.
The docuseries shows both sides of it, though, the legal and illegal,
Yeah.
which was interesting. This area has also seen a rise in meth and heroin in addition to the marijuana issues that comes from all sorts of violence, people jacked up on meth committing crimes.
Well, yeah, Portland's
habits.
right above them. Said you can do all that shit all you want.
Right, right.
So what the fuck you expect?
Yeah, whatever you
Yeah.
want. Yeah, like
I know, but I mean, it's like watching Breaking Bad with how Albuquerque, filled with a bunch of meth heads and that kind of shit. I've been watching Better Call Saul here, the last
new
season of it, so I'm all caught up on Saul. I'm pretty psyched to watch more of it. Now, Joey, I read that all the residents in Alder Point claim the police could have done something to arrest those that were associated with Garrett Rodriguez's murder, but chose not to because he was involved in illegal activity. Of course, the police don't agree with that. But
Right.
what do you think?
And that goes back when they were talking about that. Whenever I heard the sheriff talk about, well, they never wanted us out there before, so all of a
okay.
sudden they want us out for this case. But
Sure.
the thing that fucking I thought was crazy too is like, okay, you got this kid Garrett that came up missing, and there's pretty credible chance that there's witnesses to what's going on. But all of a sudden, all three of the fucking there were eventually 4 witnesses, but the 3 witnesses that they could have questioned all end up dead too.
Right.
Like, to me,
dude,
that's like, wait, now you really should be checking shit out because
Right.
there's obviously some kind of conspiracy or cover up going on about this situation where somebody wants to shut these people up that are directly connected to this, situation. And I mean, who the fuck knows? Like, that's fucking big weed country up there.
Right.
You could have fucking cartels from out of fucking the country
Probably, dude.
or, even, domestic organized, outlets or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But man, these people could be coming in and taking care of that business, and fucking nobody wants to fuck with that at all. Like, he
Right.
met a bad end. He was fucking with the wrong people. Fuck that. Good. That tie is cut off from our area.
Right.
You know, it's weird. Like, I can't remember, what was that movie? Was it Homegrown with John Lithgow and fucking Bon Jovi and fucking...
I think it was Homegrown, yeah.
But yeah, that fucking shit, basically, that's what happened in that. It's John Lithgow who gets killed, but he had been fucking with the cartels. So all the other pot growers were like, hey, whatever happened to him, we don't know nothing about it. And that's because he was bringing that shit into our territory, so fuck him. That's what it reminded me of.
Interesting. Now, Chris, I did see that the legal growers have started the True Humboldt brand, which is a collective of 200 farms that, you know, trying to stay in business against the large corporate farms. So that sounds kind of cool that they're trying to organize.
Now they're just fucking unionizing.
Pretty much.
Like, for real. Like, they're unionizing how you grow weed.
Yeah, it reminded me of the whole reason I did heavy core was to try to collect all the underground bands into a big organization.
Right.
To try to help each other. So, yeah, it's the same principle. That's cool. It just sounded like a good thing. I also, know that the towns in the Emerald Triangle don't like that negative publicity. I mean, you can't blame them because it scares away tourists. So the business owners definitely don't like it. Anybody working in the hospitality business definitely doesn't like it. And even those, in illegal activities, the more people that are there, the more people are going to want to consume, prostitution, drugs, what have you, So that's going to be more, business if there's more people. So I get that. I know it would be really concerning, to go there on a vacation when you get that many people missing. I mean, I don't know. It wouldn't be the place to take a family.
But see, that's like some of the people that they were talking to, they're like, I feel fine going out with my family. I'll bring my kids anywhere. We can go camping, whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, it's the same as anywhere else. There's places you don't go fuck around in.
Right.
And there's situations you don't put yourself in, and you're going to be fine. But, if you're used to living in a place, then you have more of a sense of, comfort, I guess, where somebody else comes in like, oh, this is kind of crazy here.
Yeah, I don't want to do this. But no, I get what you're saying.
I mean, that's even like, since I was a fucking kid and started smoking weed and shit, like, that's something you always heard about, not even in California, like fucking other places. Like, you don't go fuck around somebody's land if they got weed and shit, because they might shoot the fuck out of you.
Right.
That's like for real.
Yeah, like that went hand in hand. So that was like guns, drugs, and violence all in one,
Right.
But you never thought nothing. It was like, yeah, no shit. You don't fuck around on somebody's shit.
Yeah, and it's interesting to think, from back then when they were fighting this in the 80s and so forth, but now how many states have begun to actually legalize it? So it seems stupid to make a plant illegal, To me, it just doesn't make any sense. I've seen a lot more chaos come from people drinking alcohol than I ever had from people smoking weed.
Fuck yeah, bro!
So, it's just stupid. I think they should just legalize it, tax it, let the people
think about it,
get the benefits from it, because a lot of people do.
Beer is plant-based if you think about it.
That's right. It is. That's true. So that's just my opinion. Guys, anything to add to this one?
The only thing I got to add, and I'm going to go back to what Chris was saying earlier about, it's kind of like anti-weed and shit.
Yeah.
So, upon further investigation about this docuseries, Josh Zeman, who fucking did it,
right,
did it in cooperation with the police department, and it was a full-on propaganda thing, like, okay, you're legalizing the shit, this is the violence that's coming out.
Oh,
and
interesting.
To go even further into it, the guys that he worked with were already doing a TV show called Pot Cops.
I did see an episode of that.
Yeah, and so those dudes were doing that, and off of the popularity of that, they got to do the docuseries with Josh Zeman, and he ended up following them, and they did the Murder Mountain. So it does seem a little bit more like, a Netflix scripted.
Right.
Like, the shit happened, and there was definite facts, and I think that we covered that very well.
Dude, the fucking...
But the way they portrayed it, I think
AP8, dude.
Yeah.
That's how they found Rodriguez's body and shit.
Right.
They just went out there with motherfucking grabbed dude and shot him in his arm. Like, where the fuck's the body?
Yeah.
Like,
they're vigilante justice, man.
Vigilante justice, man.
No, that's
Pretty
crazy
fucked up.
that you said you saw an episode of that Pot Cops.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we were watching it. Yeah, yeah. You could find them. I think on YouTube is where we found.
I was
them.
gonna look at. I just saw it whenever I was seeing
Yeah,
some. Of
we
the
watched.
research,
I think an episode or two.
I was
yeah.
like, dude, I need this. I bet that's the funniest shit.
Yeah, it was pretty good stuff. Now I did my research with this one again, watching Murder Mountain on Netflix, plus other docuseries or documentaries I watched on YouTube, and I mentioned that article from 2018, Rolling Stone.
Hell yeah.
Had a really good one about it. Talks about the series, but also the true, and kind of compares the two and makes some interesting things. And I added that to my discussions.
I'll
tonight.
always say, like, in my life, Rolling Stone has always done pretty fucking unbiased,
they really do. I
good
mean,
coverage of
we've
shit.
cited them a few different times.
Yeah.
You know, really good stuff in there. I would have never thought of it as that, but it really is.
Right.
So there is some good stuff out there. Again, look at different things. Don't just watch that series and go, oh, this or that. Watch that if you're interested, but it's going to be a little bit of an exaggeration and hyped up. And as Joey mentioned, somewhat repetitive, but that's no different than any other.
But like I said, it
docuseries.
follows the basic formula for what a lot of these popular docuseries were doing.
Right.
So if you haven't seen it and you're into that shit,
Yeah, check it
definitely
out.
you're gonna fucking binge it for
Oh
sure.
yeah,
probably.
you'll binge it for sure. It's 6 episodes.
Yep.
Now next week we're going to be doing the case of Alan Legier, Joey,
Fuck
going
yeah.
back up to Canada. Little monster of the Miramichi. That guy was brutal
this
as fuck.
dude's brutal, yeah.
Raping, murdering at least 5 in 1989. Terrorized that fucking area. Busted out of prison by hiding a little handcuff key in his bodily orifice.
Which one?
I don't know.
You'll have to stay
listen.
tuned.
You'll have to
Stay tuned and find out.
So he breaks out of prison, terrorizes this fucking area, doesn't even leave his hometown, just fucks with the people from his hometown. And it's funny because they mention Moncton a lot in the documentaries about him. And Moncton they reference in Trailer Park Boys quite a bit about the guys from Moncton. Like there was some guys
No
they didn't
shit,
like from
yeah.
Moncton, so it's the same thing.
Cyrus.
So yeah, it's going to be great. We're going to have our buddy Shane. He's our go-to guy. Shane Borchuk is going to be on with us. The
Fuck yeah.
guy from Winnipeg. He's a listener, a 666 clubber. He's a good dude, and we've had him on a couple times. And he's from Winnipeg, Manitoba,
did.
but he's going to be. He said practicing his French Canadian for going over and talking about some Alan Legier.
Is that like us doing a Southern draw?
I guess, yeah, I guess. So he's going to be recording with me tomorrow night. We worked it out. I was trying to get it done before I leave to go out. But he's going to be doing that on Messenger, and he's going to be doing the voice of the Alan Legier commercial we got.
Yeah.
And I knew I needed to get it done before the episode. So I was like, dude, we got to get this done. They got pummeled up there with like 30 inches of snow
That's what
over
it-
like 3 or 4 days. Yeah, it was brutal. So that's next week. So that'll be fun with Shane with us. Joey, you got any good page a day for us?
I do, but I can't get started. Chris, you got my hitter over there?
Oh shit! Yeah.
We're doing our 420 episode. I'm trying to fucking.
Get your mind right.
Yep. All right. Yeah, I got some page a day.
Fuck yeah.
I whittled it down because last week I fucking just talked so fucking, or whenever we did it. The last one we did with Murder Complex, that was a long one, which was okay because the episode was short. Anyhow, so page a day. Thank you once again. This first one they're talking about is fucking Galileo. So we're going back to 1633, and Galileo Galilei, he found himself in the hot seat for the second time for discussing heliocentrism. So in 1616, he'd been forbidden by the Catholic Church from holding or defending views that the sun, rather than the earth, was the center of the universe. In the Second Inquisition, Galileo argued that he didn't believe in heliocentrism. He just continued writing about the issue and the evidence as a means of discussion. That's what he said. So
He's like, hey, let me.
Right. So the Catholic Church, they maintain that geocentrism was an immovable truth told by Scripture, despite the fact that scientists have known for centuries that the Earth was not the center of the universe. So Galileo was sentenced to 3 years of reciting the 7 penitential psalms once a week and spent the next 9 years under house arrest until his death in 1642. He was officially cleared of all charges by Pope John Paul II in 1992.
Oh my God.
God
Dude.
damn.
So don't fucking tell the Catholic Church that we're not the center of the earth. All right. This next one that we're doing is about Mary Blandy. So she's a well-mannered, well-educated, and well-respected lady in her hometown of Henley, England. So it was a scandal when in 1751 it was discovered that her betrothed, Captain William Henry Cranston, already had a wife and a second child in Scotland. So he said that the marriage wasn't valid, and he traveled to Scotland several times to get it annulled, but to no avail. And after months, Mary's father, Francis Blandy, he got tired of Cranston stalling.
All his bullshit.
Yeah, and he
fucking
was like,
this motherfucker.
He was like,
dude.
you don't have any intention of leaving your wife, and he disapproved of the planned union between Cranston and his daughter Mary. So what happened next is kind of unclear, as it's only Mary's recollections, but she claims that Cranston sent her a love potion to use on her father so that he would approve of their relationship. The love potion contained lethal levels of arsenic, and when Mary put it in her father's food, he died.
Oh my God.
So the trial was controversial because some believed Mary's version of events, but most did not. And the rudimentary forensic testing for arsenic was considered revolutionary at the time. Mary was found guilty and hanged on Easter Monday, April 6, 1752. Cranston, he somehow managed to escape justice, but he died in the same year as well from other causes.
Oh, wow.
No shit.
That's
fucked up.
Fucking crazy.
Damn.
All right.
Hanged on Easter.
Yeah, fuck that.
Brutal.
And this is one of my, in their own words that the page today does.
Yeah.
And this is from Mary Blandy. This was her last words before being hanged for murdering her father. She said, "For the sake of decency, gentlemen, don't hang me high." And that's because she feared spectators might look up her skirt when she was dead.
Oh, shit. Wow,
I mean,
isn't
I'd
it when
check
they
it
hang
out,
them
bro.
high is when they like choke out?
Right,
Whereas
right.
if they let them drop, they
Yeah.
break their neck
Yep.
and die
Yeah.
like instantly. That's what I thought it was.
All right, so here's something cool. These are a couple serial killers and their fucking signs. Now, we got some listeners. I'll give a shout out Peggy Sue. She's fucking probably knows a little bit more
Fuck
about
yeah.
this, but she might find this interesting. So they're talking about Eileen Warnos. And Eileen Warnos, she's a Pisces. Now, Pisces are typically sweet dreamers, but many serial killers were born under this sign, including BTK, Richard Ramirez, and John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, damn.
So Pisces, watch out for them.
Dude, I've seen this whole list of killers and their fucking zodiacs.
Yeah,
I've seen
And they're
that.
all the same fucking,
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 things.
Yeah,
dude.
that is interesting.
So the second one's Peter Sutcliffe. He was a Gemini. Now, like the Yorkshire Ripper, Geminis are known to be charming and a weapon that many serial killers use to lure their victims in. So watch out for them.
Interesting.
Ted Bundy, he was a fucking Sagittarius, which prized freedom, as did Bundy, who tried to escape from prison twice.
Right?
Yo.
Jumping out of windows and everything.
Here's one that doesn't fall into line. Gary Ridgway is an Aquarius.
Yeah.
I'm an Aquarius.
So the
Me
Green
too.
River Killer is, thought to be the most prolific serial killer in the United States. He was far from compassionate, and so the usual Aquarius.
Probably not
Yeah.
a word I would use to describe
No.
Gary Ridgway.
And then the last one they're talking about is H.H. Holmes. He's a Taurus. That's what I am. And they're talking about Holmes. He may have twisted the down-to-earth homebody nature of a Taurus with his notorious murder house. His Tauruses are usually, pretty planted, but he made
That's
a house.
you. Pretty planted.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, I got a couple more. So this came from a headline in a newspaper, and the headline was Ronald Tackman, escape artist better at art than escaping. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Wait, what?
Ronald Tackman, escape artist better at art than escaping.
Okay.
And they'll explain. So Ronald Tackman. Now, this dude wasn't the most threatening of criminals. His track record consisted mostly of using fake guns to commit petty theft to support his drug habit.
Yeah.
But he did garner a reputation as one of the most creative criminals. So he spent most of his adult life in and out of prison, mostly in. After his first arrest at age 16 for selling glue to teenagers looking to score a quick high. So he's selling these motherfuckers glue.
Like, you could go buy this yourself, right?
So due to multiple escape attempts, he was considered a security risk and spent most of his time in solitary confinement. That's at 16 when he first got locked up.
God damn.
So while he was there, he created elaborate paintings and sculptures with art supplies he made for himself out of the few materials he had in his cell. This dude's inmate innovation is fucking awesome. He used food coloring as paint. He fashioned paint brushes out of his own hair. He mixed white bread and toilet paper to make paper mache, and he even carved detailed sculptures out of bars of soap. So like this dude's still creating art. He's like, you don't give me shit, fuck you. I'm still gonna do shit.
Yeah.
Most of his original art had been lost, but he did sell a few of his pieces for several $100s each. Obviously, this was before the fucking Son of Sam
laws.
Yeah. So Tackman's escape attempts were just as creative, less successful, but they were as creative as his artistic endeavors. His first two escape attempts occurred in 1985. In April, Tackman used a fake gun he'd fashioned out of soap, aluminum cans, and eyeglasses to hijack a prison bus.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
out of here.
He locked
dude.
up the guards and freed his fellow inmates. But instead of joining the escape, the other inmates tackled him, turned him in, and were hoping to win reprieves for themselves. So in November of the same year, 85, Tackman attempts to hijack another bus, but this time his phony gun ignited, exposing his bluff. And the guards, they were super unimpressed, and they just grabbed him up and put him away.
Oh my God. Jesus.
His most legendary attempt to flee occurred in 2009 when he broke free from an inmate line at a Manhattan courthouse. He slipped into an empty room, changed into a gray three-piece suit, 2 pairs of black socks, one on his feet, the other to cover up his orange inmate slippers, and then posing as a lawyer, Tackman walked right out of the courthourhouse.
Fuck?
He evaded capture for 36 hours until police apprehended him after he tried to rob an ice cream store.
This motherfucker.
The guy that was working the counter at the ice cream store noticed that Tackman's gun wasn't real and wrestled him to the ground. Tackman received 28 years to life for multiple robberies and the escapes, and he died in prison in 2020.
God damn.
So, Ronald Tackman's inspiration, he had a buddy who was a fellow inmate in Attica in 1980 named Buddy Jacobson. Buddy Jacobson walked out the front door of the Brooklyn Detention Center posing as a lawyer, also in a gray suit, which his cousin had slipped into him. Jacobson was a trainer of thoroughbred horses, and he was in the midst of one of the most sensational, expensive trials of the century. Tabloid headlines, jury room brawls, a $1.5 million price tag. He was accused of brutally murdering his neighbor, John Tupper, after Jacobson's girlfriend, who was model Melanie Kane. She left him to move in with Tupper. Tupper's body was found by firefighters on August 6, 1978.
God damn.
He'd been shot, stabbed, bludgeoned to death, then left in a burning crate on an empty lot in the Bronx. Jacobson was found guilty of the murder but escaped during sentencing. He was recaptured in Manhattan Beach, California after 40 days on the lam and returned to New York to serve his 25-year sentence, and he died in 1989.
Wow.
So, yeah, crazy shit.
That's deep.
So the last one I got, and this is because Easter just happened. Like, we're 420 in it, but it was just Easter.
Right.
So they're talking about 2020. We all remember how fucked up that year was.
2020 was the best year ever.
So obviously in 2020, Easter celebrations in the U.S. were largely disrupted because of the spread of COVID-19.
Right.
But that didn't stop a Florida woman, because of course she's from Florida.
Of course.
Everything's from Florida.
Oh, yeah. This woman's named Abril Sistoni from playing the Easter Bunny. She filled her neighbors' mailboxes with colorful plastic eggs that was packed with unconventional goodies, including pornographic imagery, fish-shaped crackers, squares of toilet paper, powdered drink mixes, and pamphlets with information about local churches. According to Sestoni, the eggs were meant to be educational. She was charged with 11 counts of distributing obscene material, as well as driving with a suspended license and violating the stay-at-home order that was in place at the time.
Oh, my God. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah. So yeah, don't go playing around as the Easter Bunny.
Damn.
So that was Page a Day.
That Page a day, good stuff.
Holy
always,
goddamn,
always,
dude.
always. Well, guys, we have done our share of murdering tonight. I think it's about time to crank up some metal and do what we love to do. So, Joey, what the fuck do we need to do, man?
Let's get all metal on.
Just because CK has passed on, he's not done educating the masses. CK will forever be the great metal motherfucker. We're here to stomp poser ass and eradicate the planet of their kind. CK has passed the torch to us, and we will forge the fuck on. In CK's name, we will bestow metal knowledge upon all of you. Hell yeah, man.
Great
CK.
metal motherfucker.
CK looking at us over there at CCK with the colander still next to his head,
yeah.
but he's giving us the horns. CK would be proud. We're hitting the 4-year mark, gentlemen. So here's to CK, the great
CK, I know he didn't
metal
drink.
motherfucker. And because of
And
tradition,
speaking of giving horns,
thank you.
Oh, good call.
I haven't done that. It seems
Oh,
like a
yeah,
little
Joey
while.
giving me the horns because it is my segment tonight talking about the band that I picked. So, but you know, CK would be so proud of this 4-year mark, and he was such a big part of that. And you know, I know a lot of people have commented about our tribute to CK episode. So if you missed that, boy, that would be a good one to go listen to. Interviews with his wife, and we had Tex on, and just really cool. So
If
Old
CK
school
was still
shit.
alive, I would literally send him some horns. So
Like
we could
send him
pass
that way
the
he had
horns.
them.
Yeah.
yeah, that would have been awesome. That's true. That would have been cool.
Just get a whole goat head and send it to him, dude.
Sorry for the smell. Here's some brown sugar Pop Tarts from Clover Valley.
Hey, look, man, we're making you an offer you can't refuse.
All right, so I got the horns, guys, and that means I picked a band, and this time it is Schizophrenia. I love those
yeah.
guys. They are from Belgium. Now, I found out about this band doing an interview, ironically, with the same band we mentioned in our bonus episode, Chris, Warfect. They told me when I asked them, what bands are you listening to? One of them he mentioned was Schizophrenia.
Yep.
So I thought, okay, I've never heard of them before. So I Googled it. And of course, you know, you got to sift through the non-metal stuff, you know, the
To
mental
find
health.
the
and
actual
all.
metal that
Yeah.
you want to hear. Yeah.
So I stumbled on, you know, how to get a hold of them. And anyway, they are just really cool. So it was one of those cool finds that I heard about through an interview we did. And these guys are from Belgium. They are currently unsigned, which amazes me. They have had offers, but none that they felt that they wanted to take. So good for them. I know it's easy for bands to fall prey to that and sign deals that really fuck them up. So that's cool that they're being cautious. So these guys are DIYing it like a motherfucker.
Like a bastard, dude.
Yeah. The current lineup is Ricky on bass and vocals, Romeo and Marty on guitars, both doing leads and rhythms, and then Lorenzo on drums. All these guys are class act musicians at each of their individual instruments, absolutely just crush it. These guys, the drummer, Lorenzo's in a few different bands. He's also in another band, and the name is escaping me for the second, but it's the 666 Goats, Carry My Chariot.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Butcher? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's Butcher. Those guys are fucking sick. Anyway, Lorenzo's an incredible drummer, but these guys are so talented. They actually started out in 2010 as the band Hammerhead, but then changed their name to Schizophrenia in 2016. They released their first EP called Voices in 2020, and it got a lot of really good reviews. A lot of people really dug it. I think it's fantastic. It's a little more death metal than the first full length, which is called Recollections of the Insane, and that just came out in February, right out on your birthday, Chris, on the 17th.
I do remember that coming out on my birthday.
Yeah. There are some hints of thrash on the new one that I think are a little different than the EP, but overall they're very similar. and I really like them, both releases. And as I mentioned, I did an interview with 3 of them. It was Ricky, Romeo, and Marty. They were really fun. We had a good interview. The whole interview will be posted as a bonus episode the day after this one comes out on Friday. And the video of the interview will be on our YouTube channel.
Check that YouTube out. Subscribe, like.
Yeah. I mean, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. You catch all that right when it comes out. These guys are super cool guys. Great band. If you dig death and thrash metal kind of combined into a wall of fucking brutalness. I hear a lot of influences when I listen to them. I hear Death, Morbid Angel, Creator, Demolition Hammer. I know they like Demolition Hammer a lot. Sepultura, old stuff. So these guys have a lot of really good pedigree that they're influenced by.
I was thinking there's kind of like a little, it's not really a trend, but like, okay, Schizophrenia, that's the name of a Sepultura album. Fucking name your band after that, possibly. You got Bonded by Blood, who's a band who loved Exodus, named their band that, and they're really good also.
Right.
And then you got Evil Invaders, who's a fucking Razor album, and fucking a band called Evil Invaders that's badass. So, man, at first I was like, it's kind of weird, you know, but the bands always do it good.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool to be that influenced.
Even in the death metal scene, there's a band that I fucking really did called Vomit the Soul, which, of course, is a Cannibal Corpse song.
Right. 100% was, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is that even like Created to Kill, wasn't that?
Right, Created to Kill Our Buddies. That was actually Cannibal Corpse's first, like,
album
demo or whatever it
some
was.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there. If you're interested, go check out the band Schizophrenia. But for now, I'm going to play you the 6-minute clip from the interview I did with them. This is the fun part where I ask them who should be trampled in a mosh pit at your show. Or if you had to decide on one of the 3 getting run over in a Schizophrenia mosh pit, would it be Justin Bieber, Nickelback, or Kim Kardashian? What do you think, Ricky? I mean, Nickelback, Justin Bieber, or Kim Kardashian getting just run down in a Schizophrenia mosh pit?
I think it'd be Justin Bieber. I don't know.
Justin Bieber. Marty, what about you, man?
Probably.
What of those 3? Bieber.
I mean, he seems like the most douchey of them all, so I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go for him.
Nice.
You know, pick one.
Romeo, what about you? Just one. What do you think?
Well, I hate all of them, but then I'll just go with Kim Kardashian.
Nice. I've been asking this question, trying to mix it up. It was a Canadian band, and it was Bieber, Nickelback. I'm like, oh shit, they're both Canadians. So I threw in Fred Durst, figured like whatever, and he picked Fred. Or no, I picked David Draymond, and he picked David Draymond. So I just like to ask a little funny question here and there.
I mean, but also Nickelback, they deserve it too, you know?
They do, man. They totally do, man. That shit is just awful. I hate it. I really do. I really genuinely do. All right, let's see here. Ricky, are there any tour plans for you guys this year? And maybe is there anything in the works to eventually get over here to the U.S.?
Oh man, would love that, but we have no plans to come to the US yet. I think it's also because of the uncertainties of the situation with the pandemic. You know,
right. Well, if you ever play in Chicago, I'm about 2 hours south. You can stay here.
Oh, cool.
I'll cook you up. I'm Italian, Ricky. I mean, I saw that you were from Italy, so I got Altieri
cool,
is my name. So I mean, I can cook.
That's what I thought.
So I will cook you up some Italian food. It might not be up to par, but I'll do my very best.
That's great.
Yeah, that would be awesome if you guys could ever get here. But I know with the pandemic and how expensive it is to travel, it's tough.
I mean, it's tough to organize shows in Europe too right now. You know, so like I think there's a little bit of we need to wait a little bit still, but we'll get there at some point. But
we're getting there. Seeing a lot more tours coming up. That's cool, really cool. So
we just got a tour canceled. I mean, we were supposed to be on tour right now, but our tour was canceled a month and a half ago.
Okay.
And we might have another tour option for the end of the year, like somewhere around October, I guess. But that's still not confirmed yet, so
gotcha.
We'll see.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we're going to play quite a lot of shows and festivals from now until the end of the year in Europe.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's
now,
good news.
Yeah, Marty, if you had to pick two bands to headline a tour where Schizophrenia would be the support, what two bands would you pick?
It's a really tough question. Yeah, it's hard because I have some ideas, but they're either not playing anymore or some members have died. So it's it's hard. If like choosing from bands that are still playing now, like within kind of our genre or scene, it would be cool. Like Morbid Angel and Demolition Hammer or something would be really cool.
Nice.
But yeah, if I can just go wild and pick anything, I'd have to say Judas Priest or something, you know?
Right. I would say Cannibal Corpse and Misery Index would be badass.
Yeah, Cannibal Corpse
sure.
They seem like super cool guys.
Yeah, I played, my band played with them once, and they were super nice to us, real cool.
I watched some documentary of them like on tour, and they look like a lot of fun, so yeah, that would be cool to tour with as well.
That's cool. Yeah, that would be a good tour for sure. Now, Romeo, the songwriting process, I know you talked about that, but is there what's the split on the new album? I mean, you guys all write each of the songs, so there's not one song for any one individual that you wrote more of it than the others, or are you guys all writing as a unit, like you mentioned before?
Most of the time, we all write as like a full unit.
Gotcha.
But I mean, some songs have a bit more like my riffs, or Marty has songs where he has more riffs. Like there's even some riffs that Ricky even wrote.
That's cool.
Or like came up with. So, but most of the time it's a unit. So we.
That's cool.
I don't know. It just comes naturally or something. I would say. You know, there is not really. We just write, like if I'm at home and I'm just writing stuff, then I'll send some files to Marty or something, and then he can check it out. And once we come together, we work it out a bit more. And you know, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's just bad. You know,
right. You got anything cooking for the next one? Do you guys stay ahead of the writing, or are you trying to catch your breath after this album's just come out?
Actually, we had a lot of material for this album. Like a lot of stuff didn't make it on the album as well.
I was hoping you were going to say that. All right, so cool guys, a lot of fun, some interesting stuff. But I love that question because it always surprises the bands about who would get trampled in a mosh pit. So that's a lot of fun. All right, well, so go check those guys out, Schizophrenia. I'll link to them in the episode description. Now, Joey, you got a lost classic for us tonight.
I do got a lost classic, and it's funny because we talk about, I've said this before, but we call it a lost classic, but now I'm going to fucking talk about a masterpiece album. So it's not forgotten or anything like that, but
it's just something that's
worthy. But at the same time, you know, you might not hear people talk about it for a while. So the one I'm going to bring up today is what's in my car right now. I've been jamming it for a couple days. Malevolent Creation, The 10 Commandments. That fucking album.
That's brutal, dude.
Yeah, that is like hands down one of the best fucking pieces of fucking death metal to ever get recorded, in my opinion.
Dude, that's fucking crazy because those guys have been like in my head for a fucking whole fucking metal segment.
See?
I haven't listened to them for a while. I need to go back and check it out.
But yeah, no, that 10 Commandments, like I'll fucking link it in the fucking Facebook or the Murder Metal Man Facebook group if you guys are listening, like I've been doing. But if you don't know that album, check it out.
Yeah, that's fucking sick. I know those guys were in heavycore. I don't remember who it was in the band I was dealing with, but they were really cool. And definitely one of the sick. They might have been on one of the comps too, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they were on the fucking first one.
You might be right. All right, so what's everybody been listening to? Chris, what about you, man?
I have been listening to all kinds of things, but I started listening to some Pantera on shit. I can't remember exactly what day it was. But it's like I just got on this Pantera kick because the fucking homie Justin Morris, he sent me this link to this like kind of country song called Blacktooth Grin.
Yeah, he sent me that.
Did he send it to you too? Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's like it's a badass song, and I listen to more of their shit, and I like it because I'm into that shit. But like the song's just awesome, and then the whole chorus is just different Pantera album titles or song titles. They make a whole chorus out of just Pantera song titles.
Oh,
and it
okay.
works, and it's fucking awesome, dude.
That's pretty
So
cool.
yeah, I listened to that song. I was like, now I just want to fucking hear Pantera. Fuck. But yeah,
That's cool.
So yeah, but and the group is called Whiskey Dick.
Whiskey
So, yeah.
Dick. All right.
But yeah,
Very cool.
Pantera, Whiskey Dick, and then just whatever I just randomly put on at any given time.
That's cool. Joey, what about you, man?
I was listening to some Cypress Hill because it's about to be 420, so you got to listen to a little bit of that. And I was listening to Black Sabbath, and fucking, it's a good time to jam Sweet Leaf. So
fuck yeah,
go jam that.
Old school
Sabbath.
shit
I mean,
there.
you can't never go wrong with Sabbath, in my opinion. I've also been listening to fucking Coat Hanger Abortion.
Yes, those guys are so good.
Yep, the homies from fucking Tennessee. And I've been listening to the fucking unreleased album by the band Sigil from Poland.
How is that shit, dude?
Yeah, that shit's fucking nasty, and it's Floor's in that band, which he's in the band Corpse, and he also does Carniflor. He runs Gold Chain Studios, like he does all their mixing for some of the baddest ass shit out there. But Sigil, that's coming out on Comatose Records, and I'm going to be doing the review for that either tomorrow or the next day. So if you're listening to this and you like the reviews we've been doing, check that out.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that I've been listening to is fucking Crotch Ripper came out and fucking put out their fucking, it might be their last full length, but their newest fucking full length, Trolls vs. Lizards, and
dude,
we got the fucking poster up in the studio.
Yeah, rip me a song and
stickers
send that
around
to
here.
me. I want to put that on the next show.
Oh, hell yeah. No,
Yeah,
we'll definitely
send me
do
some.
that. So yeah, Crotch
Very
Ripper, but they got their
Hell
new
yeah.
album. Check that out. And I did an interview with fucking Alex from Crotch Ripper.
Yes.
Which we're gonna do that. I'm doing Lividity on my next one, but then after that's
Awesome.
gonna be the Crotch Ripper one. So.
Awesome. Anything else you wanted to mention, Joey?
No.
I've been going off on a death binge. I've been going crazy listening to mostly symbolic and individual thought patterns, some on leprosy,
Hell yeah.
and some the Sound of Perseverance. Just unbelievable musicianship. That dude surrounded himself with the best of the best, just unfucking believable musicians on those albums. Another band I've been checking out, Joey, I mentioned this to you, I think, on a break, a band from Texas called Steel Bearing Hand.
Oh, shit.
And the album is called Slay in Hell. Those dudes are fucking wicked,
I'm gonna have to check
man.
that out.
say Steel Bearing Hand.
Steel Bearing Hand, yeah.
All right.
Go check that out. The album, I think it's the only one I saw streaming, called Slay in Hell. It's fucking wicked. Schizophrenia, I've been jamming them too, just because I did the feature and just had them on my mind. So that's what I've been digging. Now, I am a fan of Decapitated, the band. I loved their old stuff. I like the newer stuff with the newer singer. But they did a song, they got a song coming up on this new album, and they did a duet, I guess you would say, with the chick from Ginger.
Yeah.
And to me, first of all, I don't like the song at all. Like, I don't, even his parts I don't like. I just don't like the song, but I really don't like a singer female singing.
Metal? I haven't listened to the song.
So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, but holy shit, the backlash on fucking commenters are like, Decapitated, RIP, just canceled by advanced order. Like,
right.
What the fuck are you guys doing, man? Like, what is this? Like, what kills me about it is you're in a band called Decapitated. I mean, you got to fucking bring that shit to call yourself Decapitated.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Heavy as fuck.
So in their old ways, they brought it. Like they're also amazing musicians, but just absolutely fucking killing it, you know? I like the first singer, probably the best of all of them. The second one, the guy that was hurt in the wreck, he was good too. And I like the guy that sings with them now. I just don't like this whole trying to cross over shit. I just don't get it. Do a side project, do a solo project, do something different,
but
do whatever you want.
The band that everybody's expecting and make it something that it's not.
Right. I mean, the band is called Decapitated. It needs to be ripping fucking heads off, or it should be called something else. All right.
Love it.
Bands, we've mentioned this before. If you're in a metal band and you want us to check your band out, get a hold of me at pete@murdermetalmayhem.com. There is no guarantee we're going to play it or that we'll do a review of it, but if we dig it, we will, and we'll let you know. So you can send that to us that way, or you could do it old school, send it to Murder Metal Mayhem, P.O. Box 554, Hayworth, Illinois, 61745. And you want to throw in some stickers and shit like that, that's cool. We'll throw them on the table. So
Pop-Tarts, right?
Pop-Tarts, whatever you got. All right. All right, Chris, is it you that has the horns next?
Yes, I do. Yes, I
So
do.
you have any idea?
I am going to do Imperial Triumphant.
Okay.
That's who I got next week.
All right. Fuck yeah.
It is definitely different. I like it. I don't know who else does, but I like it. So.
I don't know anything about it. What kind of metal is it? Is it something to like dog fashion disco or something crazy?
Avant-garde black metal with jazz.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
All right.
It's technical.
It's
metal, though. It's
okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
technical, but it's fucking
All right. Well, I'm always interested to hear, where are they from? Do you know?
New York.
New York. Okay. Well, that should be interesting because I don't know anything about them. So learn something new. All right. Our 666 Club is a way you guys can support what we do. We get some new people. We want to say thank you to those that are already members of that club. You can hear that Manson family episode we did, the bonus stuff, full-blown interviews, all of it. So it's a good thing. Patreon.com/murdermetalmayhem. And I also link to that in the episode description. Just $3 a month is all you need to pledge. And then this way it helps us pay some bills here. So we appreciate that. All right. Well, we have done plenty of metal tonight. So Chris, what the fuck do we need to do?
We need to get our mayhem on. Don't kill people over weed.
Yeah! Is your love life getting you down? Are you tired of beating your meat to the same old videos on Pornhub? Well, come on and take a trip with the Sick Ripper Van Rides and find out what love is really about in the back of our filthy rape van.
My girlfriend and I took a ride on Sick Ripper Van Rides, and it was awesome. She got chained up and raped in the back of the van while I ate McDonald's in the passenger seat. Sick Ripper even shot some video for us to have a lasting memory of the whole thing. Thanks. Sick Ripper!
Yeah! Yeah, take a ride in white trash style with sick rip-off and rides. Smoke some crack with the girls, a offer to strangle one with me. We'll plant that bitch in my special garden. Fuck yeah!
It was so wonderful. Planting a dead prostitute in Sick River's garden. It felt so good to recycle. Let the cycle of life spread its wings. Yay!
Woo! Just open up your window and scream out, Sick Ripper! Today, and I'll be there to pick you up for a ride you'll never forget.
Oh my God.
Sick Ripper.
So good.
Wow. That was fucking ridiculous.
Holy shit, that's one of the best ones in a while. I love
that's
it.
a new one we just did. Joey, of course, being the Sick
Holy
Ripper.
fucking shit.
I was one caller, and your brother Michael was the second caller there. That was kind of special.
That was fucking...
He took us totally by surprise. Yeah. That was great. So that was a lot of fun.
He said that you went low with it, so he had to go high with it. He said he was going to go low, then you did it. He was like, all right.
I'll do something different. Hell yeah.
Shout out to Michael. I tried to come up with some cheesy instrumental, metal, just lame metal.
It was perfect.
No, so I thought that would kind of go with it.
It was funny coming out of the Schizophrenia because I was jamming that.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden it goes into the cheesy shit. And I was like, juxtaposition.
Yeah, it was that much more lame.
It was bad.
After how badass Schizophrenia was.
Hell yeah.
And that was the song Structure of Death from the EP. That's not even the new shit. So go check those guys out. All right. So we got some Mayhem. All three of us actually. Little Mayhem.
I'm proud of this personally because Mayhem's like the area that gets fucking overlooked sometimes. Because we're like, whatever. But this time, you guys get to hear something from all three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a little story.
And on our 4-year anniversary.
Exactly.
That's kind of
and it's 420.
That's right.
Chris, tell us your shit.
All right. Like I said, in a way, the murder story we did made me think of this because of the fucking vigilante justice.
Yeah.
So States bought this car from this dude, gave money for it and everything this one time, and dude never gave her the car.
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of us, we're just hanging out and we get this call from this dude who's like, hey, dude's at this bar right now, what do you want to do? So me, Michael, 4 or 5 other dudes, just let's go to the fucking bar, dude. So we just all roll up into the bar and he was there. We fucking hey, motherfucker, what's up? Where's the fucking car? He's like, whatever. He didn't say nothing. So we drug him out of the bar, fucking took his wallet out, took his ID. He was like, now get the fucking car or you're not coming back. Next thing you know, the cops are fucking at the house. They're like, look, he's not trying to press charges, none. Just wants his ID. He'll fucking take care of everything. But everything got dealt with, but it was just fucked up because in my head, it's we kind of did some shit like that. We just ganged up 5, 6 deep, walked into the bar, drugged this dude out. In the hindsight, it's maybe I shouldn't have done that, dude. That's a bad idea.
But it worked out that time.
It worked out, though. So there it is.
But sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. I mean, it could have gone
sometimes it
south.
doesn't. It could have went real bad.
Could have gone south for sure. Fuck yeah. Joey, what about you?
So my Mayhem story is kind of it came from whenever we was hanging out with Bonesaw, and he was kind of helping me remember this shit. But back whenever if y'all don't know Bonesaw, our friend Greg, who's from Murder Complex, obviously they were on the show. I was in a band with him a long time ago back in
goddamn Chainsaw.
Yeah, Chainsaw Homicide. And we played a show. This must have been I want to say this was probably 2005 in June at the McKinley Foundation in fucking Champaign. So on this bill, this show is Cemetery Rapist, Chainsaw Homicide, Dr. Satan, Roberta Sparrow, and Zero Base. So, even with the names alone, what the fuck do you expect?
Right.
And we show up to this place, and it is straight edge as fuck. All these motherfuckers are super straight edge that run the foundation and shit.
Right.
And, this is whenever I first started hanging out with Clay and shit. And, dude, back in these days, I could hold my own with the Shawback Nation as far as what I used to drink back then. I was fucking out of control and ridiculous too. And Greg was talking about, we show up to fucking this place. We slammed a half gallon of Kessler's and a 30 pack of Ice House that we had hidden in these fucking McDonald's cups because we show up and we find out you can't drink and all these dudes are straight edge. So we're like, fuck. So we all got these big ass McDonald's cups. Dude, we're drinking Kessler. Dude, we are fucking wasted. Right. We go up in there and I remember fucking, I mean, this is my bad too, but this is my bad. But I back then, like, this is whenever I was first fucking playing in bands. Like, I was doing Goremonger a little bit, but basically, like, I was just playing bass in bands. I was young. I was just learning to be in the scene. Sometimes it was a little more about like partying and having a good time than fucking music being professional. You got to learn some of that shit. You're excited. Like you're doing the shit. You're with some other bands, you know? Right. And fucking, and a side note on this night, this dude, Dr. Satan, was the fucking he was the lamest motherfucker in the world. And Clay, like, had a connection with him because they were both one man. So, like, he would talk to him a little bit. I think he was from Indiana. I'm pretty positive on that. And fucking, this dude was just the lamest. And he showed up in, like, he would show up in an apron that was, like, blood splattered. And he was and he had this mask. He was just really kind of goofy, and his music wasn't that great. So the two combined, you know, made him kind of laughable. But he was like, at this show, I remember he like was like one of the first ones to play, and he's like, "I want to thank you guys for coming out and keeping the scene alive." And like me and Clay have fucking said that since that day. We still say that to each other, fucking just laughing at this dude. But anyway, so as the night progresses and we're fucking wasted and fucking like the Chainsaw Homicide dudes get wasted. Like we were fucking retarded. And fucking I had this 32-ounce cup of Kessler's and Coke, and I fucking spilled it on the fucking PA board.
Oh, shit.
Dude, these motherfuckers were pissed, and I'm fucking drunk, and I was like, fuck you, that ain't shit. I'm like, these motherfuckers are meant to have beers on them. I'm drunk, you know? Dude, they were fucking pissed, and at that time, whenever fucking it spilled, so then they could smell the whiskey, they knew what the fuck was going on, and during the last bands, whenever they figured it out, but they fucking told us don't ever come back there.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be here right now anyway, dude.
But no, when I was in Chainsaw Homicide, I only played a handful of shows, but almost every one of them we were like never allowed back or
nice.
Fucking stupid. So Pete, what's your fucking contribution to Mayhem?
Well, we were talking about this a little bit before the show, and I thought maybe part of it I had mentioned one time in a Mayhem story, but nonetheless, it's funny. The company that I work for during the day and do Murder Metal Mayhem at night, but during the day, back at this time, this would have been like about 95.
Murder Metal Mayhem was not a thing.
No, not a thing. Low 12 was not even a thing back then. I had just got out of the Army, and I was doing building inspections before they tear them down. So we got sent to Danville, which is a decent size, 40, 50,000 people, maybe. Maybe not even that big, but nonetheless, it's a pretty decent sized city.
It's ghetto as fuck.
But it's got a lot of bad parts. It's had a lot of businesses leave. I mean, it's kind of the typical story of, a town that was at one time very thriving that's really gone downhill. It's sad. There's a big VA hospital there, which is a big source of the economy.
It's a bigger Pontiac.
It's probably bigger.
That's pretty accurate right there.
Yeah. So we were sent to this old housing authority called Carver Park, and it sat down in a valley. So it was the middle of February, so it was really fucking cold out. It was just me and this other guy who was about 15 years older than me. So I was in my mid-20s. He would have been about 40.
Yeah.
He heard that we're going to the bad part of town, so he brings a fucking gun with him, okay? A loaded fucking 38.
I'm shooting motherfuckers.
So he's got this fucking gun with him. So I'm a little nervous because, having just gotten out of the Army, you're pretty up on, like, gun safety.
Right. Like,
being fucking careful with people, like, doing shit, And so I was a little concerned. So anyway, I remember I had my Army winter coat on. So we're going through this housing project of multiple buildings. I mean, hundreds of apartments. And these things were fucking disgusting. I mean, garbage up to your knees, having to walk through this stuff. rats. I mean, it was
like
pretty gnarly.
It's like a hoarder's house where the hoarder decided to go hoard somewhere else.
Yeah, well, they were vacant for a while. What happened was there was so much crime in this project. They were having a roof done on one of the buildings, and a roofer got there early and sat on the edge of the roof drinking his coffee. And one of the residents reached up and pulled the guy off the roof and killed him.
Oh, shit.
And that was like the final
Wait,
straw.
is that real?
Yeah. They were like, okay, you're done. So that's when they closed them down. But they had been, gangs were in them. I mean, we were going through these apartments. Some of them, you could tell people were actively staying there.
Yeah.
There were like beds made, like newspapers. You could smell cigarette smoke in some of them. That was scary because you had no fucking idea what you were walking into, and hope that you wouldn't walk into like where somebody's keeping some money or some drugs, because that would be really fucking bad. So it was on fucking edge the whole fucking time. My boss got us these two-way radios because back then there were no cell phones or anything. So, because he was worried, he had heard it was bad, but he didn't know it was as bad. I mean, some of these apartments, I remember being in one where in big red letters on the wall it had "Kill Whitey." And I'm like, okay, this is definitely not a good fucking situation.
This is not where I want to be right now.
No. And there was a cop that would come down there about every hour, and he would laugh at us and say, "You guys are fucking crazy. I'm not even getting out of my car." Like, no way. This is a dangerous fucking place. You guys need to be really careful. So it was cool that he came and checked on us. So anyway, we're doing this shit. I was there for a whole week, froze my fucking ass off. It sucked. It's Friday, and we've got like 6 more apartments to do, and we're done. So I get to like the third to the last one and open the door, and there's this fucking crazed ass fucking drug addict in there, half out of his fucking mind. And I'm standing in the doorway, and he comes fucking running at me full fucking force.
I'm gonna get you, motherfucker!
And doesn't say a fucking word, just lowers his head and fucking comes at me. I dropped my shit and I square off, and he fucking hit me hard. I mean, harder than I thought he was, because he was a little dude. And he knocked me and him all the way back to the railing. We were on the 3rd floor. So I had my back to the railing, ready to go right off the fucking side on the pavement. I mean, I would have been dead. But that motherfucker would have gone down with me, I could tell you that.
Grab his ass, pull him with you.
So I had him up in the air above my head with my back up against this fucking railing, thankfully able to fucking throw him back. And we went at it, punching each other up on this fucking balcony. Then I was fucking sick of his bullshit, so he was down on the ground. I grabbed him by the back of the collar and his belt and just threw him down a fucking flight of stairs. Well, 3 flights of stairs. And he fucking rolls down these stairs like rough. I mean, like body flailing. Like I thought he was dead. And he got to the bottom of the stairs and just laid there. And I was like, oh my God, I think I just killed this motherfucker, But what the fuck was I supposed to do, So right then this fucking cop comes pulling in, and I like wave him like, dude, come over here. And he pulls up and lowers his window, and he's like, what the fuck did you do now? I'm like, I don't know. I think I might have killed this guy. And he's like, what? And I told him what happened, and he's like, God damn it, And then he gets up out of the car, and then the guy kind of groans, and so he calls an ambulance for him. They got him out of there. But he had taken a report from me to make sure in case this guy came back,
he comes back
and said, hey, he attacked me and this guy hurt me, blah, blah, blah. So it was a good idea. And I remember calling my office and they're like, what?
It's like, I almost killed a dude. That's what happened. How was your day at work, honey? Oh, dude, I almost killed a dude.
Yeah.
Like for real this time.
The first time I had to call the office that day.
Right.
I'm not done yet. So the guy leaves in the ambulance. Me and the other guy were like, God damn, that was fucked up, So he's like, we just got 3 more of these to do and we're fucking done, So we're 1, 2, get to the 3rd one. Okay. I told you all the doors were shut. Because the glass is broken and the wind would blow all the doors shut. So even if you opened them all up,
they shut. Yeah.
It would blow them shut.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
So we get to the last door. Okay. Now, earlier in the week, I got cornered in a kitchen by these like 3 or 4 fucking hungry looking fucking dogs. It was pretty scary. I had to jump up on the counter and I radioed him to come get me or to
Come
scare
help me
the
out.
dogs.
Yeah, like,
This
No, you
motherfucker
come get
comes in with
attacked. I'm
that
gonna hide here.
38. Woo! And fucking shooting that fucking shit off like he's like Saddam Hussein or some crazy ass
this
motherfucker.
fucking
to
cowboy
shoot.
back in the old west, like, yo, bro.
So the dogs fucking run off, you know, but I'm like, God damn, are you fucking out of your mind? Like, what the fuck? So flash forward, we're on the last apartment, okay? So he starts like doing this little dance, standing there on this fucking balcony, and he's like, bad boys, what you gonna do?
Get the fuck
what
out
you
of
gonna
here.
do? And he goes fucking running back to the edge of the balcony where I was, and runs at the fucking door full force because he wanted to kick the door in. And he kicked the fucking door. Well, a lot of times I had run into this, that these motherfuckers barricade the door with like dressers and shit so you can't get in.
Right. It'll fuck your shit up.
So he jumps up to fucking kick the door and it don't fucking budge an inch. Blew his knee completely fucking out.
Hey, so by the way, homeboy's here, fucked his shit up.
Yeah, so I had to wait because he's screaming on the fucking floor. Like I didn't know what to do, you know. He's like my guy, like he's the boss. Like he was like my supervisor. Like I'm the young dude trying to learn how to do this shit from this older guy.
He's over here ninja kicking.
He's over here swinging a fucking gun over his head, singing the fucking cop song.
Seems like the perfect teacher to me. I love it.
Kung Fu fucking Fooey hits the fucking door and fucking blows his knee out.
Yeah.
Lands on the fucking balcony, bashes his fucking head, so he's like concussed with a fucking blown out knee. Like it was gnarly as fuck.
Oh my
and
God,
we're up on
dude.
the 3rd floor. I mean, like, how am I going to get him down there, you know? So the cop, there he comes around and I wave my arms
Hey,
again.
dude, come here, check this part out.
And he pulls up and he lowers the window. He's like, I don't even want to ask what the hell you've done now, you know? And I told him I left out that he was waving a gun over his head.
Right. Yeah, leave that
But
part
I
out.
said, my friend up here, he's hurt himself. So you got to call that ambulance back and have him come get him because I can't carry him down those stairs. He's in a lot of pain.
Christ.
So then I had to call the office again and tell him that, you know, so-and-so kicked the door. Also left out that he was waving a gun over
And
his
he
head.
never fucking got the door open.
Yeah. I don't even know now that I think of it, I don't know whatever happened to the gun. Like, as if he had the gun on him, that would have been an issue, I'm thinking, at the hospital.
You would
know?
think.
But I don't know.
It's probably a scraped off gun.
I
You
don't
just shot
remember
it out
that.
more times than threw it.
Maybe they just held it. Maybe they got a spot they put it at.
Yeah, I don't know. It
Because
was just
people
fucked up.
conceal carry and shit.
Nowadays, yeah.
So
but
if
back
you
then,
get fucking brought in an ambulance, you might have
1995.
weapons on you.
Yeah,
and shit.
95, though, it's probably a scraped off gun. He just shot it around a few times, just tossed it with no prints, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, he might have tossed it in one of the
burner
apartments.
gun,
you know.
exactly.
I don't know. All right, so that's my Carver
Hell
Park
yeah.
story. So, all right, well, we always have a little bit of fun, guys. Tonight we got a damn good one, Killer Cage Match. This is where we take a list of 75 killers, 75 objects, and a list of 15 variables to make it fun. And our listeners provide random numbers on our Facebook page so they know who we're going to fight in the cage tonight.
Let me tell you something first.
What's that?
I'm not going to do the cage match with you guys tonight because I drove over the 419 over this weekend and I saw Punky Brooks.
Oh, is Punky going to do it?
Punky said he's going to come in here and he's going to do the cage match with y'all.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So I'm going to... Something I'll tell you too. Whenever I was driving, I tried to get a picture, but it's hard to get a picture of something you see while you're driving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the 419, there's an area where their prefix is 666.
Get
So
the
the
fuck
phone
outta
number
here.
is 419-666.
Oh, dude,
I was
you gotta
like,
get one
I
of
know, I'm
those
going to
numbers.
find out
Are
where.
you
where
serious?
it's-
That
yeah.
would be so awesome.
And I asked
dude.
Stephanie about it, and she was like, I think that's businesses like landlines and shit. I was like, that's so fucking hilarious.
That would
No,
be
is
the
that
shit.
no? We need pictures of that. Dude,
yeah, I'm
for
gonna
the
find
radio.
it. It was a big sign in a field, like a farmer's field or whatever.
Oh, that's
I'm gonna
awesome.
find it again and fucking
Dude,
get a picture.
That's awesome.
But anyway, like I said, I went over
419-666.
419. I seen the boy Punky.
All right,
He's
well, get him
here
on
in the
phone.
studio. I'm gonna hand him over the microphone. I'm gonna step back and let you
All
guys
right.
do the cage match
All right,
tonight.
get him on the phone.
Awesome.
Chris, who are our listeners? We want to
Oh
say
yeah!
thank
Once
you to
again
for
tonight
those
we have
numbers.
Ray 10-gallon.
Hell yeah.
McFarlane. Oh, well, where that came from, Hoss. We got the homie Gummo Wall Bacon, and we got the goddamn shotgun killer Samantha Cram. Fuck
All
yeah.
right. So yeah, so we've got some good fighting going on here tonight, Joey. Who do we have? Or I'm sorry, Punky. Joey stepped out. Punky.
Yeah,
Who do we got fighting
motherfuckers.
tonight?
Yeah. 419. Ho,
yeah,
what's
dude.
up? Punky in the
Oh,
house.
this motherfucker again, dude.
Now, before we get into this Killer Cage, and y'all know I love
Hey.
the Killer Cage match. Remember Mayhem? Y'all represent that shit. Is
Hell
sick.
Yeah.
But I'm a
You got
little
drunk out of
upset
that
right
once, didn't
now.
you?
I'm upset. I got a bone to pick with y'all. Y'all do motherfucking Murder Mountain, Marijuana Mountain shit. You do this. You guys talking 420 and shit. Right now, today, Tuesday, doing the podcast. It's a national holiday, ho.
What day is it?
419.
Oh hell yeah!
National 419
Before
Day.
420. Before
Hell yeah.
You guys ain't support that shit, ain't repping. You fucked up.
You fucked up.
So
dude.
I had to make sure I came here.
I don't do feet, bro.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was sitting in my house. I was selling some crack. I was hollering at this bitch. All of a sudden, I get a text message from one of your Patreon, Justin Morris.
talking
shit.
about
This
Justin
motherfucker's
Morris?
talking about Murder Mill Mayhem ain't even got the 419 holiday, national holiday in the script.
shit. Thanks,
so you better
Justin.
show
Jeez.
up and tell them.
represent,
Oh,
son.
wow.
Represent.
Thanks, Justin.
Anyhow, so
Appreciate
now that I
that.
got that off of my chest, now we do a motherfucking Killer Cage match. We got big ass motherfucker be eating motherfuckers Joe Matheny.
You know it.
And he's gonna go up against some boomer, some old ass boomer, be fucking putting motherfuckers on sticks, motherfucking Vlad the Impaler.
What the
Fuck
fuck?
yeah. That is the old school badass motherfucker. Holy shit, that's a hell of a matchup. And Chris, they got a couple of good objects to fight with. I don't know.
I mean, look,
These guys can make this interesting.
like they got a fucking glass Coke bottle,
Ooh.
like Coca-Cola.
Like an old school
Old
one.
school glass one. That's not that big, but that bucket of fucking battery acid
Oh.
as a big ass, that's a thing right there.
Yeah.
Especially with the variable.
Yeah, now the variable is an interesting one, Punky. Did you see the variable?
Man, this motherfucker a bitch.
This motherfucker.
We got Aaron Rodgers wearing a Bears jersey,
Oh.
tripping on acid.
Dude,
Oh,
you
man.
know he's
That
tripping. He got a
motherfucker gotta
bear
be on
jersey
some
on.
fucking crack cocaine to be wearing a Bears jersey. And he
Aaron
gonna get his
Rodgers
ass
in a
whooped.
Bears jersey. Holy shit. Wow.
That's
On
that acid
acid.
too, man.
Yeah,
Fuck.
that's fucked up. All right, so we have
Fuck.
got a good one tonight. We got Joe Matheny and Vlad the Impaler fighting in the cage match to death with a glass Coke bottle and a bucket of battery acid. And we got Aaron Rodgers running around in there with a Bears jersey tripping on acid. Holy
Man,
shit.
Y'all motherfuckers tripping.
I
That's
know,
what's tripping.
dude, that's
Chris,
what's
Burn
tripping.
up, man. Y'all weird motherfuckers.
Chris, what do you think about this one, man? I mean, this one is crazy, man. That is just a hell of a fight.
So like I'm fucking basically going like, all right. So the bucket of battery acid, fucking Rogers, he's already wearing a Bears jersey. He just thinks in his head, more acid. I'm going to get fucking high, dude. So he goes,
Oh, wow.
He's done. Fucking goddamn motherfucking Matheny's like, fuck yeah, Vlad's got all these bodies ready for me to cook up and sell to people and make money. But the Impaler's like, I'm going to impale your fat ass on this Coca-Cola bottle right here.
Oh.
So he just comes in with this fucking posse of fucking warriors, just straps him down, shoves the Coke bottle, sticks it in, puts a straw in a bucket of blood, And it's fucking Vlad.
Vlad for the win.
I'm going with Vlad.
Okay, I mean that's definitely legit.
Hold on, before Punky gets in, what you got, Pete?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking, like Joe Matheny.
Shit, motherfucker, what?
Joe Matheny liked to cook his victims in his barbecue that he sold at his roadside stand.
Sir.
So I'm thinking he sees that battery acid and he thinks that maybe he could cook Vlad the Impaler in the fucking battery acid, or because Aaron Rodgers is all fucked up, maybe him and Vlad can cook the fucking Aaron Rodgers in the battery acid. But they quickly find out this shit doesn't work.
Right.
And I'm just thinking that Vlad the Impaler was a bad motherfucker, but I'm thinking he had a lot of grunts doing his work. Matheny is a fucking hoss.
Oh,
and
he's
I'm
a
thinking,
big ass bitch, dude.
Just physically, Matheny's going to fucking handle business. But Punky, what do you think, man?
Man, I've been waiting a long time to tell y'all what I think about this shit. Been hearing Kill Cage match 4 years. 4 years y'all did Murmur, man. That's crazy, dog. Anyhow, what I think's gonna happen is that motherfucker Joe Matheny, that motherfucker, he hoss for real. And what y'all know about Joe Matheny, he crip. He crip, dog. That motherfucker, he legit crip.
I didn't know that.
So he gonna look over in the corner first off, see motherfucker Aaron Rodgers. Now, first off, Michael Shawback gonna come up in here and do something about Aaron Rodgers if it was really real. But this is just hypothetical up in here. So what we talking about, Joe Matheny, he's a bear. He's basically a bear. So he gonna take that battery acid and throw it at that jersey on Rodgers because that's some bullshit ass
sacrilegious, man.
That's false flagging, motherfucker.
Bam, that's what's up.
He's like, oh, you want some more acid, motherfucker? Zip. And he fucking skirt, and he's out. Now, back to the motherfucking fight. Vlad the Impaler's like, oh, okay, I see what's up. You know why they call me Vlad the Impaler? Takes that Coca-Cola bottle, bam, breaks off that end. He got himself a gangster knife.
Fuck
you
yeah,
know what I'm
dude.
talking about, motherfucking
Yeah,
gangster knife.
Right.
He takes that knife, and he starts impaling Joe Matheny, starts stabbing him up. But what you don't know is when you shanking Joe Matheny, that motherfucker got fucking layers of fat.
You can't
layers
get
of fat.
nowhere,
You
bro.
can't do nothing.
It'd take a long
So Joe
time to
Matheny,
get
he's
through
like, okay, motherfucker, watch what I'm gonna do, Vlad. Takes him and uses him like a shish kebab and just fucking digs him into his teeth, eats the fuck out of Vlad the Impaler. Joe Matheny's fat ass winning. Crip 419 out, Punky out. Thank you, man.
Fuck yeah.
Thanks, Punky.
Hey, yo, thanks for hanging out,
Fuck
Punky.
yeah.
It's good to
Hell
see
yeah.
you.
419 day. Don't forget
Fucking
next
plug,
year.
baby.
That's
Plug.
right. That's right. Fuck yeah. That was awesome input from Punky.
Fucking Punky.
Yeah, Joey, thanks for getting Punky on.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was-
dude.
that was
Thanks for
fun.
bringing him in, dude. That was great.
That was great. All right, always have fun with some Killer Cage match, that's for sure.
Oh, my God, dude.
All right, I showed you guys these new bookmarks I got, these Deeper Than
Dude,
Dead
they're fucking
bookmarks.
badass.
Brian Usual did really an amazing job. The ticket.
Yeah, the ticket
bookmark.
on the backside.
Yeah, the Inferno Lounge
Well, I don't know
ticket,
which
which is
yeah.
part of the story. And the Deeper Than Dead in Flames really looks cool. That's the first part of this multi-step process. I mean, man, pulling this thing together is just unbelievable. But the posters, the large 18 by 24 posters that Brian did are really cool. They are on the way. We're supposed to get them Friday. So we got those coming. And then the book proofs should be about the first week of May. And hopefully they look good. We got both sizes. We're going to order 2 for me and 2 for Brian, ship separate. So he's not waiting on me to send them. And then we're going to hopefully approve it and then can set the release date firmly, but we believe it'll be June 6th. So
Sure, yeah, hope so.
So yeah, I'll have the info on the advanced orders. I'm getting a lot of people, which I appreciate that very much. A lot of people asking about it. So we're going to have that for you very, very soon. So
Fuck
it's
yeah.
been an epic journey to get it done. It's just so much work pulling it all together, but everybody that's been a part of it has been amazing, from the beta readers, from Sean Ferrugia, Rebecca Boomsock, to Brian for killing it on the artwork, and my wife Jenny's been putting work in on the manuscript, getting it in the right format for Amazon. They're being kind of difficult, so it's been one of those. But I still haven't been
It's
able
a battle,
to record.
dude. It's a battle.
I haven't been able to record the audiobook yet because the fucking weather is still being too cold to be out here with no heater on. So it's getting close. So I'm anxious to get that done and off my plate.
Did you hear that? He was getting there.
He was getting there. Son, you wouldn't know what to do if you got there.
All right, we've been talking too about our YouTube channel, guys. You know,
yeah.
man, you can get on there and subscribe to it, and you'll know when we post content. Friday at midnight, that video interview I did with Schizophrenia is going to drop. 35 minutes with the song at the end, and I put together a cool medley of their pictures as the song plays. That's cool. I went on and trying to do some work on those to make them look as good as I can. So,
yeah, dude.
So yeah, those are a lot of fun to do.
Slideshow of the band.
Yeah, while you listen to them. We play a full song too at the end, which I've been doing on all the ones I've been doing. So, all right. Well, we have done plenty of mayhem tonight. All three of us tore up a good story or two.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Let's hit that fucking outro on our 4-year anniversary.
Rise up within the ranks. Show no respect for the warriors that died in the past. Supposed to be offensive, reborn to the front line. Until demise, our brothers intertwine. This is the call to arms.
Fucking brutal, man. Jungle Rot.
Jungle Rot.
A Call to Arms, which is a new song, a new album coming out of the same name on in May. So really excited to hear that too. Those guys are fucking brutal as fuck. Very close by up there, and Jimmy's up in Chicago, but the rest of them are in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go check them out. Touring with Internal Bleeding's touring with them too. So
yeah, that's fucking
two
sick.
badass bands plus all the fucking the other bands are sick too.
Oh yeah. Bumper music tonight, Joey would play tonight.
Jungle Rat, Misery Index, and Schizophrenia.
Fuck yeah. Chris, what about that metal segment?
That metal
intro?
segment has always been, since the beginning of fucking the great metal motherfucker, Cry6.
Hell yeah. And the Murder Metal Mayhem intro by Low Fucking 12. So
yeah.
Thank you to everybody out there that listens. We keep seeing those numbers coming in. We appreciate everyone that listens. So tell your friends about it. Thanks for making these 4 years so much fun. Not a fan of best of type episodes, so I like it that we just do a regular episode.
Yeah, we talk about our shit.
We talk about the 4 year because it's significant, but we just love doing the show, and I don't want to miss doing a show just for a best of type thing. So that's
your
how
mom's
we like
butthole.
Chris, we want to say thanks to some listeners and read some comments. So what do we got here?
Peter Griffin 666. I love this podcast. I'm a new listener in Denmark. I'm a fan of Schizophrenia. I'm glad you guys like them too. So fuck yeah. Thanks for listening.
Peter.
Schizophrenia fucking kills.
Hell yeah. Joey, what about that second one?
It comes from Dave Kid 6484, and he said, I listen to you guys with my crew hanging drywall every day. We'd love it. Crank up that metal and horns from all of us in Mesa, Arizona.
Hell yeah.
Mesa,
Fuck yeah. Weather's beautiful over there, Mesa, that's for sure. Unless you're in the middle of the summer and not used to heat like that. Holy shit, that's fucking hot. Angela Kromsock commented, my husband and I love the podcast. We laugh so hard at all the crazy shit you do. Thanks for that fucked up sense of humor, especially the karaoke song.
Karaoke.
So thank you, Angela. And Chris, what about that last one?
Della Peterson says, Peterson's a weird last name, but hails from Germany. You guys rock. I love the podcast. I wouldn't change the damn thing.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Della.
We appreciate that.
I got a bonus comment.
Yeah.
Because it just came in on my shit because I posted something on the Mermail Man page and somebody commented.
Cool.
That, like, for real, like, if you guys fucking want to be a little interactive, like, fucking, we'll check that shit. We'll comment on that shit for real.
Sure.
But anyway, so I posted a picture of us, you know, with the Devil's Harvest poster talking about doing a 420 on Murder Mountain.
Right.
And one of our supporters, RB Eyebold, they said, Tomorrow is our annual beginning of the harvest day in Thousand Oaks, California. April 20th, we begin sowing the seeds. Last year's crop was excellent. Hopefully this year will be even better. Good luck to all the growers in Humboldt County as well this season.
Fuck yeah.
So that's pretty cool, you know what I'm saying?
That is cool.
Fucking checked out what we were talking about. I'm sure you'll check out the episode.
Hell yeah, very cool.
Now I read that shit, and you can fucking
there you go.
Hear your fucking
bonus comment. Yeah. That's awesome.
All right. Bonus. That's high time.
Check out murdermetalmayhem.com to listen to all the past episodes. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to that YouTube channel.
Go to YouTube.
Got a lot of exciting things up there and more to come. Just keep putting new content on, so definitely subscribe.
Pete said come.
Check out the show on Amazon Music, Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox, iTunes, and more. Support the show by joining that 666 Club. Patreon.com/MurderMetalMayhem will get you there. $3 a month. Get all sorts of bonus stuff. And bragging rights in the mosh pit.
Yeah, there you go.
That you're a 666 Club member. You can go to creationofchaos.com if you want to buy one of my books. The web designer talked to me today. He's ready to start showing me some things. So it's starting to become what I kind of envisioned as this cool website, both for the writing stuff as well as the podcast. So if you're a fan of the show, we're going to have some cool stuff up there. A little bio on each of us. We're going to have a CK page. We're going to have links to all our different social media stuff. Of course, the YouTube. So there'll be a lot of cool content on there. And you'll be able to order Murder Metal Mayhem t-shirts, books.
Books from your fucking writings.
Yeah, you'll be able to order my writing stuff if you're interested in that. So we're going to have all sorts of ways you can, help out and participate and take advantage of some cool stuff. So
we're gonna get some homeless people to do OnlyFans pages. You
guys, you're not gonna be able to wait to see that. They'll be like, "What?"
All right. Well, we can't let them go without hearing a karaoke song. This is a blast from the past, so crank this one up. And until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
Just keep enjoying your weed without killing people,
man.
In your eyes all the way. If I listen to your lies, would you say I'm a man without conviction? I'm a man who doesn't know how to sell a contradiction. You come and go. You come and go. Come a chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Love them with the easy if your colors are like my dreams. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. Did you hear your words every day? Yeah, you used to be so sweet, I heard you say that my love was an addiction. When we cling, our love is strong. When you go forever. You string along. You string along. Come a chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Love of the busy and your colors are like my dreams. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. Every day is like survival. You're my lover, not my rival. Every day is like survival. You're my lover, not my rival. I'm a man Come a chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Loving one thing is if your colors are like my dreams. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. Come a chameleon. You come